Senator Ernst.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you to all of our senior enlisted leaders for being here today. This is a really important topic for so many of us and making sure that we are caring for our families. And SEAC, thank you for mentioning the first soft truth. I think this is something that every single one of us should live by here in Congress, is that humans are more important than hardware. We need to recognize that and always start with that. So I'm just going to make a comment about the military housing. I was married to an enlisted soldier years ago, and I remember living in housing on Fort Benning and at Camp Rudder down at Eglin, and you name it, being in the South. And I had hoped that since the early 90s, things would have changed. I remember living in Indian Head Terrace on Fort Benning with roaches that would run from one side of the duplex to the other side of the duplex because we could not get the exterminator to come do both at the same time. We lived with mold at Camp Rudder, which is something that it's very hard to get rid of. But just because it was that way doesn't mean it's okay, and it should not still be that way. And we have to do better. We have to do better for our family members. I'm going to start, though, with something that Sergeant Major Weimer and the SEAC and I visited with about the other day. We're going through it right now. Congress is always wrangling with funding bills, our appropriations. We're not getting them out on time. And it's important to recognize that during these shutdowns, and with the continuing resolutions, these funding lapses, our military and our military members really struggle through these difficult times. So we have to do a better job of providing program continuity and stability, particularly for those junior enlisted families. We all know that most of them are living paycheck to paycheck. So SEAC ISOM, let's start. And from your vantage point, can you speak to how unreliable congressional budgeting and uncertainty in program continuity affect our service members, their families, and then, of course, the overall readiness of the force?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for the question, Senator. I'll share with you, I visit the troops a lot. I was just out on the aircraft carrier Gerald Ford visiting troops, and a common theme, and not just about the funding, and it's cross-cutting, and that is that we need to reduce uncertainty and to create stability in the lives of our service members. And so the more that we can do to work together to solve this problem, the better off our service members will be. I will tell you that there is nothing worse than a family and a young service member who is uncertain if they're going to get a paycheck. The impacts are tremendous. And as you think about their morale, you think about retention of that service member over time, that continued uncertainty is certainly a real problem.
Mm-hmm. Outstanding. Thank you for that answer. I appreciate it. And Sergeant Major Weimer, if you could add a little bit onto that as well.
Yeah, Senator, thank you for that. And without trying to repeat too much of what was already said, that uncertainty, I mean, troopers know they'll be paid, but they just don't know when. And that uncertainty is the heavy weight that's going on at home. And if the trooper's deployed, then that's now on the trooper's shoulders also, because their family, you always want to know, is in a good spot back home. And so that has a direct effect on everything that we do. This most recent one probably more than it had in the past because of the length of time.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So my daughter with her unit, they were establishing their own food bank at the unit. And unfortunately, a lot of those members, the junior enlisted, were partaking of that food bank.
And Senator, we had some great partners come and help us, the Army Emergency Relief Fund, our nonprofit, and some amazing teammates that came forward, but it doesn't completely stand in the gap.
Yeah, thank you. I'm going to jump to childcare just because I'm running out of time, but another key area for improving predictability and readiness is childcare. A number of you have touched upon that, and I am actually partnering with Senator Shaheen on comprehensive NDAA childcare legislation. We've talked a little bit about this in our meetings. We're trying to expand the childcare workforce improving provider reliability, hiring, and that wait list tracking, because we do have a lot of families that need that childcare, whether it's at a DOD facility or whether it is within the community. I'll start down here. Sergeant Major Ruiz, why don't you maybe address childcare concerns within your community?
Yes, ma'am, absolutely. When you can't have a peace of mind of where your child is going to go, you're not going to be focused, as you're alluding to. And so for us, while all of this is happening, and I love it, we have to control what we can control, and that is taking a look at how we move people. And so we found that over 40% of the staff in the CDCs are spouses. And so if we can just be a little bit more smart about transferring folks and directly hiring from one CDC to another, we can reduce the attrition. And another quick point is predictability of where families are going to go. We can let you know ahead of time, 6, 9, maybe even 12 months, that you will go here and then come back, that you can plan better, right? And so there's some things that we're doing on our own, ma'am, while this is developing with you.
That's beautiful, and thank you. That's one thing we are working on too, is the pre-clearance of child care employees at those military child development centers. So we know our commanders have a lot of great ideas on that. All of our senior enlisted, we're grateful that you're working on that. Thank you. I yield back.